December 7th was a life-changing day for Hawaii. By 10 that morning, there was death all over, and everyone had to pitch in. Even women. Especially women. I will be talking about how women had to play many roles in the attack of Pearl Harbor, such as being a journalist, a nurse, or even a radio operator or telegrapher. Women played a huge role in the attack of Pearl Harbor, protecting their people and helping the men. A way that women helped was being a journalist. This job was really only done by one woman, Elizabeth Betty McIntosh. Her parents were journalists too, and so she took after them, but it was hard being accepted as a young woman journalist. When the attack happened, she was on top of it, reporting everything that she saw. After the war, she went to Washington, D.C., where she covered a report with Eleanor Roosevelt. She was also fluent in Japanese, therefore she had a huge communication with the people that were bombing them and just a better communication with the world. With a lot of work, she later went on to work for the CIA. Therefore, her role was very significant in the U.S. and at Pearl Harbor. Another big role that women had in Pearl Harbor was being a nurse. A lot of nurses did not survive. They worked very hard to protect all the citizens. They would have to help the men when they got wounded, things that the women would have to do or give up with being single. If you weren't, then you would be kicked out. This rule was later changed in 1943. The women would mark patients that were wheeled in as patients they could and could not save. The women nurses worked crazy hard. At one point, they even had to cover wounds while they were on a ship that was sinking and being bombed, though they had no time to think about the danger. They had to do the job that they had been training for. There had been 82 local nurses on duty that day. That dreadful day had taken lives from more than 2,400 people. Many of the nurses were not even on duty when the attack happened, and many had even believed that the event was just some sort of training exercise by the American troops. They soon realized this was no drill, and they needed all hands on deck. As bombs fell and bullets flew, the nursing staff quickly set up emergency wards for the wounded and began to tend to the wounded. The last role I will be talking about is that the women served as radio or telegraph operators. This job was very important because they needed communication to call for help and to alert other branches of the military that they were under attack. They had to be really careful about using radio signals because the Japanese could possibly find a way to tune into it. In some cases, it was more secure to use telegraph, similar to Morse code, where the tones were communicated over wires, making the communication more secure. The roles that the women had to perform in this tragedy helped to open many doors in many areas, because Pearl Harbor caused America to step into the war, and over 15 million men joined the army, leaving a lot of jobs open, causing the women to have to step up and to do their jobs. They had to step up as factory workers, journalists, office workers, etc. None of these jobs would have happened if it wasn't for the attack on Pearl Harbor, causing the United States to join in. Though this seems very negative, it led to more leadership for women and letting them show that women can do just as much as men can do.